Hey everyone, it's Pokemon Productions here again, and it's time for another movie review. On this edition of the show, I'm going to be reviewing the new Marvel film to be released by Sony, Morbius. And straight to the point, it was one of the scariest Marvel movies I've ever seen. Like, it's set in the same universe as the Venom movies, and even they weren't as scary as Morbius was. Well, it wasn't a full-on horror movie, far from it. It was just one of the scariest superhero movies I've ever seen. I mean, the imagery was just so vile, it was intense. The movie was intense. It honestly was, it could be a horror movie if it really wanted to. So basically, the scientist, Dr. Michael Morbius, has a disease, has a condition that doesn't allow him to walk properly. I think he's on crutches like that. He makes this serum combining human and vampire bat DNA. And unfortunately, it backfires on him and it turns him into a vampire. Well, a vampire-esque creature. He gains superhuman speed and strength, agility, echolocation, and a thirst for human blood. That's his origin. Now, I will say that there will be some spoilers in this review. I was just telling you Morbius's origin. So we get to see Michael's backstory of how he grew up with a guy named Lucian, or Michael, as he likes to call him. And it's shown that people have been known to bully those in the orphanage where they grew up. And honestly, it was kind of hard to watch. Just so you know, in this film, Michael Morbius is played by Jared Leto, who you may know as the Joker from 2016's Suicide Squad. The main villain of the movie, who actually turned out to be Lucian in the end, is played by Matt Smith, who many out there may remember as the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who. And he is one of my favourite incarnations. But back on topic. Basically, Lucian has the same condition as Michael does, and Lucian wants the cure. But it's too dangerous. But, of course, Lucian doesn't listen. He takes the cure and turns into basically a creature that's just like Morbius, who has a thirst for blood and can walk on his own two legs now. But while Morbius sees this as a curse, Lucian sees it as a gift, and he intends to use it on anyone he wishes. And so he and Morbius get into a fight, and so he and Morbius have a bit of a conflict, and it's honestly a pretty intense battle between the two. It was actually kind of unusual to see Matt Smith in a villain role when I'm so used to seeing him as a hero. So Michael then creates an antibody to the condition, deadly to vampire bats, but lethal to humans. And so at the end of the film, he just jabs the serum into Lucian, and it kills him. Not what I expected he would do, but you know. So all in all, and so the movie was really good, but it did get pretty scary in places. Sorry. But anyway, I even though it was scary in a few places, I generally loved the film. Jared Leto did a pretty good job, and Matt Smith was such a charismatic villain. And to be completely honest with you, there was one thing I wish they wouldn't have done. They kind of like rehashed the storyline from the Venom movie, because Venom had to deal with another symbiote called Riot, and Morbius basically had to deal with Lucian because Lucian became like him. It just feels like a bit of a rehashed story, basically. But they did manage to make it a bit different, so that's something. But all in all, Morbius is a really good superhero movie, and possibly one of the darkest and scariest I've ever seen. I would highly recommend watching this video. I would highly recommend watching the movie if you love Marvel and you love vampires. But if you're easily scared, it'd probably be best to skip it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until then, Pokemon Productions out.